Hey there, Stampers. This is Sherry Roth. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Alberta, Canada. And this is the third video in my series on simple ways to use stencils or masks. And I'm continuing on with the Artistic Mix decorative masks from Stampin' Up! So I'll just do a quick flip through. Now, if you've missed the previous videos, I will link them in the description below so that you can go back and watch them. So the intention for these videos or this series is really just to share different ways that you can use a simple product that like masks or stencils that don't cost a lot of money, and using some supplies that you likely already have on hand. So there are lots and lots of different ways that you can use masks with lots of other products that are out there. But I really wanted to stick with just the basics and, you know, some ink, some different ways to apply it, like mostly blending brushes is what I've been using. And yeah, and then some stamps to embellish. So in this video, I'm going to share this card here. And what I've done is I've created a template. So I took a piece of cardstock and my Stylish Shapes dies, and I just cut a variety of sizes of circles. So I used the third largest, the fourth, the fifth, and the smallest, and just cut 4 of those out of there. And then you can see that we're going to position our stencil over top to create a fun background. So you don't necessarily have to use circles. You can use squares. You can get creative. There's some fun background dies in the Stampin' Up! Annual catalog that you could use. At the time that I'm filming this, I did not have them. So this is what I've chosen to use, but it's really all about the technique. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I have a piece of white cardstock here, and I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper, and we're just going to use some temporary adhesive to hold this cardstock in place. I always like to do that. In the first video, I covered some of the basic supplies that are handy to have on hand when you use stencils. Okay, let's line this up right with the edge. That way I know it's going to be straight. I'm going to use some Post-it tape to tape it in place, and then we'll bring in our mask, and I'm going to use some Lost Lagoon ink, and I'm going to use my blending brush to blend this in. Now you can use finger daubers. You could also spritz it with some alcohol and a little bit of ink refill for some color. But again, I'm just keeping it simple. So let's make sure that this is straight. I'm going to hold it in place. You can also tape this down. And I'm just going to add some color. Tap off that excess and just go in a circular motion. And you can make it as dark or as light as you'd like it. Do another little touch up kind of around all of them, and then I like to just take a peek. I'm happy with that color. That looks good. All right, so we'll remove that, set that aside so that I can clean it, and then we'll peel back, and we've got this great background, and you can see that circular image. So just a fun way to create a unique background using your stencils. All right, now we are going to take our piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock, and we're going to stamp this Celebrate image. So the stamp set that I'm using is from the annual catalog. It's called Circle Sayings. It's available as a bundle. Let me grab the punch. So it comes with this Circle Saying stamp set, and then you can also get the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And when you purchase it as a bundle, you save 10%. So we're going to stamp this with Lost Lagoon, so tone on tone. We'll stamp it a little bit further in because I'm going to use this piece as well. And while we have it, I'm going to stamp my inside layer as well. So I'm going to bring in my white for the inside and stamp this kind of in the middle. Okay, now we're done with Lost Lagoon. We can set that aside. I'm going to take my punch and, oh no. Okay, we might need to, let's stamp it a little closer to the side. I don't want to trim this down because this is actually going to be my layer in behind my white. We'll get it a little closer. There we go, that's better. I'm just lining this up. Hopefully it's not too close to the edge and I'll still be able to use this piece. I think that looks good. Yeah, it should be good. All right. Now I'm going to adhere this piece over top of this. So this is another little trick on how you can conserve your cardstock. You can use your mats. So if you know that you're going to cover up most of that, you can punch or die cut things from behind and nobody will know. So I'm just going to stick that on there. So we've got about a 1/16 of an inch border all the way around. And then that is going to go on our card base, which is a piece of petal pink. I love petal pink. It's one of my favorite colors. And I love it combined with Lost Lagoon. So pretty. All right, we'll add a little bit of adhesive to the back of this. This is going to go on here. So we've got that little bit of petal pink that's showing around the edges. And then we can go ahead and adhere this. I'm going to put this on flat. And we'll put it right about here. Okay, now let's work on our focal point. So we're going to bring in this cupcake and a piece of white cardstock. We're going to stamp it with Memento ink because I'm going to color it in using Stampin' Blends. Now, if you want to color it in using something different, you might have to change your ink. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then we're going to clean this. And we're going to bring in some petal pink because I want to stamp it again on the inside of the card. And then I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday over top using Memento ink. So I wanted a lighter color for the cupcake. Super cute. Love that. All right, now let's color in our cupcake. So I've got 3 different colors of blends. I've got Wild Wheat, I've got Pebbled Path, and I've got Petal Pink. So you might think that that's kind of an odd color combination, but it works. It looks really, really good. So we're gonna color Wild Wheat. Just a little bit of the dark right here, and then we'll color in the rest. So this is the cupcake that we're coloring in Wild Wheat. Now, at the time of filming this, I did not have my Lost Lagoon markers, Stampin' Blends. So I chose to use Wild Wheat instead. But you could do a Lost Lagoon cupcake wrapper. So I'm just taking the dark Pebbled Path, and then I'm going to color in the rest with the light. So I'm going to go around the edges first. And then I'll do a little bit here, kind of where the dark meets the light, kind of blend it in, and then work my way around. And I am going to leave a little bit of white space. And then we're going to do the same thing with petaled pink. So kind of where these lines are, I'm just adding a bit of dark. And then I'll fill in the rest with some light. And again, just leave a little bit of white there. And then this will need to be fussy cut because we don't have a die. So I've got one that's fussy cut here. And then I've got a little baker's twine bow. So we can go ahead and finish assembling. Our cupcake is going to get popped up using dimensionals. And I've got one left on this sheet. Toss that and grab another one. So we'll just pop that right on there. And then we'll add a little dot of multi-purpose glue, or you can use a mini glue dot as well. Just a little dot right there. We'll add our baker's twine bow. And then we can add this to the inside and our card is done. So a super fun way to use your stencils. So creating a template and then stenciling over top to create a fun background. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this week's stenciling tip or idea, and remember to check the links below for the past videos, and we still have one more to go next week. All right, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.